This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the invokable methods. We will see what exactly the invokable methods and how can we invoke the methods from the process builder. And upon preparing those methods, what are the various rules or the principles that we need to follow, and how can we pass the values to those method parameters from process builder. That means if the method is having any parameters, then how to pass the values for those parameters through process builder to the method, we'll see practically in this case in today's session. Now, so in our initial session of the development, already I told you that whenever we are going to be invoking the Apex code, we have multiple ways available. We have multiple ways are available in our Salesforce instance in order to invoke an Apex class or an Apex code. In order to invoke that Apex code, we have multiple ways available. Like we have identified the 9 ways as part of your invoking the Apex programming code. Now, so these are the 9 ways. The first one is, in order to invoke the Apex programming code, we are using this execute anonymous. You know how to invoke this Apex code by using this execute anonymous window. You know this process. Already we are done with this. Now, during the Visual Force, we'll see. Next, how to invoke the Apex code through the triggers. Already we have discussed. That means we are creating our own class, and that class we are invoking from the trigger by using the trigger handler factory. That also we are done. And then how to invoke the Apex classes from the bash program. There we have prepared the email notification code inside a separate class. That class we have invoked from the batch classes also. This is also we are done. And then we can invoke the Apex programming code through the schedule programming also. That means we have prepared our own batch class, our own normal class. That class we have invoked through scheduling also. That is also we are done. And then we can invoke that Apex programming code through process builder. Now we are going to discuss this. When moving forward in the integration sessions, we'll see how to invoke this email programming through email services, how to invoke the class, and then how to invoke the Apex programming methods by using this web services also we'll see, and then we'll see with that Visual Force also. Okay, now, so now today we'll see how to invoke this Apex programming code from the process builder. That already we have discussed during the process builder. Process builder is a graphical representational tool which is used to automate some certain processes. Like as workflow rules, process builder is also one of the graphical representational tool which is used to automate some certain processes. But the process builder is giving some more enhanced facilities than workflows. In workflows, we can able to automate very few features, but in process builder, we have more options. We can automate more actions through process builder, so that process builder is an enhancement for the workflow rules. So as part of this process builder, not only sending the email notifications, not only creating the records, not only updating the records from child to parent or parent to child, we can able to invoke your Apex programming code also. By using this process builder, we can invoke the Apex code also. We can invoke an Apex class also. The facilities are available. Now, in this case, whenever if you want to invoke some Apex programming code through the process builder, then we have to use a feature called as invokable methods. Okay, we have to use invokable methods. So to invoke your Apex programming class method, nothing but to invoke your Apex class method from the process builder, we are going to be implementing the invocable method. That means we have to define that method, okay, with the help of an annotation called as @invocable method. Now, suppose for example, assume I'm having a class, public class, some account management class or accounts manager. Inside this class, I'm preparing some public static void create accounts. There is a method here. I have written some business logic. Here I have written some business logic. So now this class and this method we can able to invoke from any place directly. So this method we can able to invoke from the execute anonymous window also just by using class name dot method name. The same manner we can able to access this particular class from the trigger also, from the batch class also, from the scheduling also. Directly we can able to invoke. But if you want to invoke this method from the process builder, if you want to invoke this method from the process builder, then we have to define this method with the help of an annotation. With the help of an annotation that is called as @invocable method. @invocable. @invocable method is an annotation which we have to use in order to make this method can be accessible from the process builder. Whatever the methods has been defined with the help of an @invocable method annotation, only these methods we can invoke from the process builder. Other methods we can't. This is one of the benefit. Like previously, we have used an annotation called as @future, because to make this method to be get executable by placing inside that Apex queue. So whatever the methods has been defined with the @future annotation, these methods are not executing immediately. It will be placing inside the Apex queue, and then whenever the Salesforce resources becomes available, whenever server is free, then at that time it will be collecting that method from the queue to start executing. Like the similar way, if we want to make this a method can be executable from the process builder, then we have to define this method with the help of an annotation called as @invocable method. So only those methods which has been defined with @invocable method, only those methods we can access from the process builder. So that if you want to invoke a method from the process builder, then we are going to be using this invocable methods feature. There that method has to be get defined with the help of an annotation called as @invocable method annotation. This is the main functionality of invocable methods. Now in this case, now to invoke the Apex class method from the process builder, we have to use the invocable method feature. We have to use the invocable method feature. We have to define the required methods by using an annotation. By using an annotation called as @invocable. We have to define that method with the help of an annotation called as @invocable. So only these methods can be invocable from the process builder. Remaining methods are not invocable directly. Now, so now here in this case, how can we define this @invocable method? Whenever we are going to be defining this @invocable method, or if you want to invoke a method from the process builder, then upon defining that method, we have to follow some rules. We have to follow some rules while defining that method. What are the various rules we need to follow upon defining this method? The first one. Now, so first one, whenever we are going to be defining that method, whatever the method you would like to invoke from the process builder, that method should be always static. That method should be always defined with the help of static. That means whatever the method that we are going to be invoking from the process builder, then that invocable method should be always defined with static. The invocable method should be always defined with static key. It's a static. This is the first principle. This is the first rule which we have to follow. Second, so whenever we are defining this method, if you want to invoke this method has to be get defined with the help of an annotation called as @invocable method annotation. Now, the method should be prefixed with an annotation @invocable. The method should be prefixed with the annotation, okay, invocable method annotation. Now, so now here is the third one, whatever the invocable method that we are going to define, okay, whatever the invocable method that we are going to define, this invocable method doesn't return any value to the current, and so return type should be always one. Invocable method doesn't return any value. Doesn't return any value to the calling environment. Hence, the method return type should be always one. Hence, the method return type should be always one. It is the third principle. The fourth one, you can raise a question. Sir, can you pass any parameters to this particular method? Yes, we can pass one or more number of parameters also. We can supply one or more parameters to the method. We can supply one or more parameters to the method iterate time. So what type of parameter? Primitive also, yes subject type also we can able to pass. We can supply the primitive type of parameters, yes subject type of parameters, collection type of parameters, everything we can able to supply. That facility is available to you inside this. Now, the fifth one. We can supply the primitive values, comma, yes subject type of values, collection type of values to the invocable method. For this method, we can able to supply the parameters of type either primitive or a subject or collection type of parameters also we can able to supply. Next. The sixth principle is whenever we are going to be defining that method inside this particular class. In this class, you can have n number of methods also, but there is a principle that so now only one invocable method we can have per a class. Suppose, for example, if I'm defining one more class over and one more method, like as get contact, sorry, get accounts. In this case, if I'm defining this method also with the help of the set invocable method, your class will not get compiled. Because in a class, we can have only one method that should be defined with the annotation @invocable. Only one method, not multiple. only one method should be there, which should be defined with the annotation at the rate invokable. So a class can have only one invocable method inside this, not multiple. We can't define, okay, we can't define multiple invocable methods inside a single class. Now, there is a sixth principle. A class can have only one at the rate invocable annotated method. Annotated. We can't define the multiple methods. Okay, we can't define the multiple methods. Only one method has to be defined with at the rate invocable method annotation. So when you try to define the multiple methods inside this class, it will be using the compilation. So we can't define the multiple methods with the help of at the rate invocable method annotation. So whenever we are going to preparing this invocable method, these are the various principles or rules that we need to follow. Invocable methods now means these are also the normal methods only, but with the speciality is these methods we can able to invoke from our process builder also. The normal methods cannot be invocable from the process builder. Only the methods which has been defined with at the rate invocable method annotation, those methods will be invocable from the process builder. Remaining methods are not invocable. So whenever we are going to be defining this invocable method, whenever we are going to be defining this invocable method, then at that time, so now we have to follow some certain principles. The method should be always defined with a static. That method should be a static method. And the second one is that method should be prefixed with the annotation at the rate invocable method annotation. And that method doesn't return any value to the calling environment. That means the method should be always defined with the help of the return type as void. And if required, we can pass one or more number of parameters to that method, because if you want to make that functionality dynamic based on these input values, then we can able to make it dynamic. Also, that facility is available so that by passing the parameters at runtime, and then upon passing the parameters to this invocable method, we can pass primitive type of parameters, collection of primitives, a subject type, collection of a subject types also we can able to supply to this particular method by using this process builder at runtime. And then whenever we are going to be defining this invocable methods, a class can have only one at the rate invocable method annotated method, not more than that. These are some 6 principles we have to follow upon defining this invocable methods inside your Apex program. Then how can we use this invocable method as part of our implementation? Now let's see practically in this case. So what is the syntax? Now let's see the syntax first. Upon defining this class, we can able to specify this. Now, so upon defining that method, we have to specify this syntax. Now, we have to specify that method. Public class name, public class name. Inside that class, we can define the method. We can specify that public static void method name, and here we can able to define the required parameters over here. What are the parameters you want? You can define the required parameters. Here you can write that business class. This is the normal procedure which we have followed as of. So now to make this method can be invocable from the process builder, we have to define this method with the help of an annotation at the rate invocable method annotation. At the rate invocable method. Here we have 2 parameters. Here we have 2 parameters. For this one, inside this invocable method, we are having a parameter called as a label parameter. Here we can specify the label. So now for this method, we can give a label name. Why? Because is whenever we are going to be invoking this method from the process builder, always we are using this label name, not the method name. not the method name. Why? Because is when coming to a class, we can have multiple methods with the same name. With the same name, we can prepare the multiple methods also. There is a possibility because of that, okay, because of that overloading, nothing but polymorphism. Polymorphism will allow you to create the multiple methods also with the same name with the different parameters. But in this case, what happened here, to identify each and every method uniquely from the process builder, we are going to be using this label property. In this label property, we can able to specify the label name. We can give any name whatever you want, but by using this name only, we can able to identify that method in process builder. Don't use this actual method name. Process builder will not recognize your methods by using this method name. It will recognize that method by using this label name only. So that give the label name. So now I'm indicating the label name for the method. Label name for the, so that we have to specify the property called as label property. Label property is used to give the reference name, or else I'm giving like as reference name. Reference name for the method. And along with that, if you want to give some description about this method, then we can use a property called as a description property. Description property is used to give some comments. If you want to give some comments about this method, what is the purpose of this method, what this method will do, if you want to give some comment, then we can use a property called as description. These are the two properties are available. These are the two properties are available. So label property and then description property. As part of this label property is used to indicate the reference name for this method. We have to give the reference name for the method. So now based on this reference name only, we can able to identify that particular method inside the process builder. Inside the process builder, we can able to identify that method based on this reference name only. So you can't identify the method by using this actual method name. As of now, whenever we are invoking this method, we are using class name dot method name or object name dot method name. But now inside the process builder, we have to use this label. Now, so now here in this case, so we have to specify the reference name for this method, and then we have to give the description. Okay, now like the similar, for example, public class accounts manager. I'm preparing the method public static void create accounts. Here I'm writing the code. Write the code to insert new accounts. Then we can define that method as invokable method. Here we can specify the label property. Label equals to I'm indicating create new account. So you can give any name whatever it is. Description. I'm indicating. This method is used to create new account records. I'm giving some description. I'm giving the description so that we can able to see this description also. For that reason here, in order to identify this method based on your name, based on your requirement, we are going to be indicating this label. You can give any name here for the label. This is for the reference. And then to identify this method, what is the purpose of this method, we are going to be giving this description also, so that the people can understand what exactly the method will do. So for that one here, we are giving the label property and the description property. This is the way we are going to be implementing this. So now let's see here. How can we implement this invokable methods? Okay, we'll see with a practical example. With a practical example, how can we do this? Now, I will show you two scenarios over here. In the first scenario, I will give you one small example. In the second scenario, I will show you how can we invoke this particular method. Okay, accounts share handler. Yesterday, we have prepared the Apex sharing mechanism. There, I have prepared a class and I have prepared a method which I'm going to be sharing. Okay, which I'm going to be sharing. So, how can we invoke this method through process builder? I don't want to invoke through trigger. I will deactivate the trigger. Then, how to invoke this method from the process builder? I will show you this scenario also so that you can understand. Let's take a small use case.
And Firoz, here I do have one question. So suppose if
Yes.
we did not define this at the rate invocable method, and if we are
Hmm.
trying to invoke this method through this process builder,
It won't
so
allow.
what error does it give?
We can't see that method name at all. Because here upon fetching that method name, we have to give this label. Without this label, how can we identify the method?
Okay.
We can't attach the method itself.
So system will not throw any error then. It will
No,
not
no,
at all call this method.
it won't at all. It won't create at all.
Oh, okay, fine.
So now in this case, let's take a small scenario in order to invoke this process builder method from the process builder. Take a small use case. For example, assume that I'm having this account card. I'm having this account. Or else, for example, let's take our custom objects also. No problem. I'm having a hiring manager object. Now, my requirement is whenever I'm going to be creating a new hiring manager record inside my object, if that hiring manager's location value is equals to some Delhi, if the hiring manager's location is equals to some Delhi, then I want to create one related position. So automatically, I want to create a related position. For that one, I would like to write some business logic. Okay, I would like to write some business logic. To create the related position record, I would like to write some business logic. Then how can we create that? Okay, how can we create? Let me show you practically. Now, so whenever I'm creating a new hiring manager record, if the hiring manager's location value is equals to Delhi, then I would like to create a new related position record inside my position object. So how to create the position record, you know. How to create the position record through programming, you know. So that piece of code I would like to write inside a method, and then that method I would like to invoke from process builder. As soon as whenever I'm going to be creating a new hiring manager record, immediately I want to invoke the process. So in this case, now here in this case, once a hiring manager record has been created successfully, immediately I would like to invoke the method, and then I would like to pass this hiring manager record to my method. The method should be able to receive this hiring manager record. Based on this hiring manager details, it has to create one related position record inside my position object. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practical. So previously we have invoked this kind of methods from the trigger also, from the execute anonymous window also. So from the Visual Force we can able to do that. But through process builder, how to do that? Now let's see. Now let's take a small case. Create a process on the hiring manager object to create a related position record inside the position object. To create a related position record inside the position object. Now I'm indicating. Write the business logic inside the class and the method, and invoke the method from the process field. From the process field. From the process field. And Upon invoking the method from the process builder, supply the newly created hiring manager record, newly created hiring manager record to create the related position. To create the related position. Now, let's see how can we implement this functionality. So when you would like to create that here, we need to verify if the condition is equals to nothing but if the location value is equals to delete, then only I would like to invoke this process here, or else I don't want to invoke. Now, so now tell me your analysis over here. What is that object name on which you would like to create the process? I would like to create the process on the hiring manager object. I would like to create the process on hiring manager object. Now the process should be starts when? Start the process. When you would like to invoke the process should be start. So when a new record has been changed. When a record has been changed. When the record has been changed. Whenever the record has been changes, then I would like to invoke that process over. Now, what is the criteria in which you would like to invoke the process? The criteria is when a record has been created. Whenever a new record has been created inside my object, then I would like to find this process. What are the conditions over here? We would like to verify. The conditions are nothing but inside my hiring manager, the location value should be equals to Delhi. If the hiring manager's location is equals to Delhi, then only I would like to invoke this. Now, so what will be the action type? Action type is nothing but what? Apex. Nothing but trigger and apex code over here. Okay, apex. Trigger and apex. We have to find that apex class over here. So what is that method name over here? Which method you would like to invoke? Specify the method name. So now, for this method, whatever the label that we are given, we have to specify the label name. We have to specify the label name. Label name of the method. So whatever the label name that you are given, we can able to specify that. And then pass the parameters also. Supply the hiring manager. Pass the parameter also. Okay, pass the parameter also. How to pass these parameters? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so this is my analysis part. As part of this implementation, this is my analysis part. So I would like to create a process on the hiring manager object. And I would like to initiate the process whenever a record has been changes. So now in that one, I'm selecting the criteria whenever a new record has been created successfully, then I would like to invoke this process. At that time, it has to cross-check the condition whether that hiring manager record's location value is equals to Delhi. If the location value is equals to Delhi, then I would like to fire an apex class code. Nothing but I would like to fire this apex code. And then in that apex code, nothing but action type is I would like to find that apex code. Then what is that apex code? That means there is a method. So this is the label of that method which I would like to invoke right now. And then for this method, it requests one parameter so that then I'm going to pass in the parameters also here from the process builder. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now so let me create a method. Let's go to the developer console. Concept is very, very simple, nothing else. I'm creating a class. I'm creating a class with the name hiring manager utility. With this name already a class is available. hiring manager helper. With this name also there is a class. Hiring manager handler. I have created one class with the name hiring manager handler. This is the class. Now, so inside this class, I would like to prepare a method. Public static void create related position. Create related position data. For this one, I am passing one hiring manager record. Whatever the hiring manager record that you have created, I am passing this hiring manager record to this particular method. Now, or else we can able to collect the ID also. We can list of parameters also we can able to collect, depends upon your requirement. That facility is also available. Now, we can pass the hiring manager record ID also, or else we can able to pass the complete hiring manager record also. Depends upon your requirement, we can able to initiate that. So now here in this case, I am going to be passing this hiring manager record to this particular method. So now based on this method name, I would like to indicate. Now let me indicate. I'm going to making this method can be invocable from process builder. For that one, I'm using invocable method. Invocable method annotation. I'm indicating the label. Label equals to create related position. Description equals to I'm going to be indicating that this method will create a related position required for the hiring. It is indicating that error. Let me verify. Let me pass list. It is accepting the collection of parameters, not the individual parameters. It is accepting only collections. So now it may be a subject type, it may be primitive type also. Primitive type, yes, subject type and collection types it will be supporting. The collection of primitive, collection of a subject. If you want to pass the ID, then you can pass the IDs also. It depends upon your requirement. List of ID. You can able to pass. So now I would like to pass the hiring manager record ID. Hiring manager records. Now HR records. I'm passing this list of hiring manager records which we have created right now. So now, what are the HR record that we have created? So I would like to collect these HR records, and then for each and every HR record, I would like to create one related position record. Now I would like to verify this collection. If the collection is empty, I would like to verify. If HR records is not empty, if the collection is not empty, then I would like to iterate that collection. For each and every hiring manager record. HR from HR records. Whatever the hiring manager record that was supplied from the process builder to this method, it will be collecting that hiring manager record that will be storing inside this particular collection. From there, I'm collecting that hiring manager record. Based on that hiring manager record, I am going to be creating a related position record inside this. Now, some writing the code. Write the code to create a related position record. Now, let's see how can we implement. You know that similar process. Position underscore underscore C, POS equals to new position. I'm creating a new position record. I'm passing the required parameter values. POS dot name. I'm indicating like some Java developer. POS dot location. I am passing this hiring manager's location. Hiring manager location value. POS dot HR email ID. I am passing that hiring manager's email ID here. POS dot contact number. That means the HR contact number. I'm passing HR's contact number. POS dot status, position status. Position status. I'm indicating this is a new position. POS dot number of vacancies, number of positions. I'm indicating some 1. POS dot open date. I'm indicating system dot today. POS dot milestone date. I'm indicating system dot today dot add days of 45 days from now on. POS dot minimum pay. Minimum budget. I'm indicating like some 14 lakhs. POS dot maximum budget. I'm indicating some 19 lakhs. POS dot travel required. I'm indicating 2. POS dot passport required. I'm indicating 2. We need the passport also mandatory. POS dot I'm indicating the position description. Required 4+ years of experience in Java development. POS dot skills required. I'm indicating required 4+ years of experience in core Java, advanced Java, Oracle, and the agile methodology. And then I'm going to insert in this position. But in this case, I need to make the position to be related to the hiring manager. Make the position to be related to hiring manager. I'm indicating position dot hiring manager equals to HR dot ID. And then I'm inserting this position. Insert position. I'm creating a new position record insertions. So as soon as whenever a new hiring manager record has been inserted successfully, immediately I would like to invoke the process. And then in that process, I would like to invoke an action that is of type trigger an apex class. So that means it has to invoke an apex class over here. I would like to invoke this apex class. So now that apex is that means the process builder is going to be invoking this method. Upon invoking this method, it is going to passing that hiring manager record. So it is collecting the hiring manager record, and then based on this hiring manager, I am going to be preparing the respective position record inside my position object. Now, so now let's see here. How can we invoke this method from the process builder? How can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. So let's create a process on that hiring manager object. As of now, we are done with the business logic. This business logic is not new, but we are going to be invoking this business logic from the process builder by making this method as @invokable method annotation. Now, Let's create a process on that hiring manager. Go to the process builder tool. Create workflows and approvals. Click on process builder. Click on process builder. I want to create a process, a new process I would like to create. Click on new button in order to create a new process. I'm going to be giving that process over here. Now I'm indicating. Now create a related position record process. I'm giving the process name as create a related position record process. Description also I'm indicating this. I'm giving the description over here, create a related position records process. Now the process will be getting starts when a record changes. Whenever a new record has been created, whenever the record has been changes, then it is going to be invoking this process. Now click on start. Save this process now. The process explorer will be getting visible to you. This is the process explorer. Here we can able to indicate that when the process has to be get started and what kind of conditions needs to be get verified, and then we have to indicate what actions you would like to perform. Now select the object name and what you would like to create this process. Click on this object name. I'm selecting the object as hiring manager. I'm selecting the object as hiring manager. So when you would like to initiate this process, when a record is created or record are modified also, I want to create only when the record is created. So I'm selecting only when a record is created. So whenever I'm creating a record inside my hiring manager, I want to invoke this process. So click on save. Now, so we are invoking the process on this hiring manager object. Next, add criteria. That means check the conditions here. Click on add criteria. Now I'm verifying this. Check for the location. Check for the location. So what is our condition? My condition is whenever I'm creating the hiring manager record, if the hiring manager's location value is equals to Delhi, then only I would like to invoke this process. Then check the condition. Inside this, in my hiring manager object, I would like to check the location value. If the location value is equals to the pick list value that is called as Delhi. If it is equals to Delhi, that means whenever the hiring manager's location value is equals to Delhi, then only I would like to fire my process. I would like to fire my actions. Now click on save. We have specified that conditions also. Now check the action. What is that action you want to do? I want to do the action that is I want to create a position record over here. So click on this action type. The action type is an immediate action. Select that action type over here. So what is that action type? I want to fire in Apex class. Nothing but here the trigger. I would like to trigger an Apex class over here. I would like to trigger an Apex class. So select that action type as Apex. Now action name, I'm indicating that here. Now I'm indicating create related position. I'm giving this action name over here. Apex class. Here we can specify the label. With the method name we can't identify. With the method name we can't identify. We have created a method. What is that method name we have given over here? Like as create related position record. So this is the method name. But the label is create related position. This is the method name. So label. So based on this label, it is indicating the label create related position. This is the label name. Based on the label only we can identify the method, not based on the name. So that here always you have to provide the label. Based on this label only we can recognize this methods inside my process builder. It will collect all the methods whose label has been specified by the developer. So now select that method. But this method is expecting one parameter here. Because this method is expecting one parameter here. Like as HR record, here the parameter is available. HR records. So in this case, upon invoking this method without passing the value for these parameters, we can't invoke this method, then how can we pass? So it is indicating set apex variables. Okay, set apex variables. That means what? We can able to pass the values for these parameters. It is indicating set the values for apex method variables by entering literal values or referencing from the values from the record. So in this case, it is indicating I want to set the values here. I want to set the value. So click on add rows. It is indicating that. So what is that parameter over here which you would like to specify? It is indicating there is a parameter. It is populating the parameter name. I haven't entered anything. It is populating. There is a parameter called as HR records. For this parameter, what is the value you would like to pass? I would like to pass the complete record over here. Okay, I would like to pass the complete record. So what you are going to passing over here, I would like to pass. Now select the hiring manager record that started your process. Nothing but whatever the record has we have created, that record I would like to pass over. Okay, whatever the record you have created, that record I would like to pass. Select the hiring manager record that started your process, or select a record related to the hiring manager. I am not passing the deleted record. I'm passing this hiring manager record. Now choose this. I'm passing this complete hiring manager record over here. This record I'm going to passing to this parameter. The parameter will come. Suppose if the method is having multiple parameters are available, then we can able to add one more parameter over here inside the process filter. By using this add row, select the second parameter name, pass the values also. So that we are going to passing the values okay, for your procedures as well. Now, once you are selecting this action type as Apex, that means I'm invoking the Apex class methods from this process builder. And then this is the label of that method. This is the recognition for that method. And then this is the parameter. For this parameter, I'm passing this value. Now click on save. So now done. We are done with this process over here. Now click on activate. We're done with this process. Now click on activate the process. Confirm. Now my process is activated right. So from now onwards, whenever I'm going to be creating a new hiring manager record, immediately it is going to be creating. Okay, immediately it is going to be creating the position record over. It is going to be creating a related position record also automatically. This method will be getting invoked automatically. Now let's see practically in this case. Let's go with the testing process. Go back to the setup. Let's create a hiring manager. I'm creating a hiring manager right now with the name some Abhishek. Okay, Abhishek. Contact number I'm giving some value. Location I'm indicating like some Delhi. Okay, location I'm indicating Delhi. If the location value is equals to Delhi, then only I would like to invoke. I'm indicating the email ID with Abhishek @ gmail.com. As soon as once you click on the save button, the record will be getting created. Once the record has been getting created, immediately the process will be getting invoked. The process is going to be passing this newly created hiring manager record to that particular method. By invoking the method will receive this hiring manager record. Based on these details, it is going to be creating the related position record also. Now click on save button. Now it is indicated method does not exist or incorrect signature. Okay. So there is a trigger is available on this one. It is firing this. Let me deactivate the trigger. Let's see what is the problem in that code. Seeing the hiring manager. So let me deactivate this now. So now let's see. Now as soon as once you click on this save button now, my hiring manager record has been created successfully with the name Abhishek, and then the related position record also has been created through the process builder. The process builder has invoked over here. Now the process builder has created a new position record inside this. It has created a position record with the name Java developer. What are the details you have indicated with the whole details, number of positions, and then location value Delhi, position status, and the passport is also mandatory, travel is also mandatory over here. It has made that position to be related to the hiring manager, minimum budget value, maximum budget, open date and milestone date, and the hiring HR email ID. It has collected from the HR record, contact number also from the HR record, position descriptions and the skills required. All these details have been getting created successfully. So whenever we are going to be creating a new hiring manager record, immediately it will be creating the respective related position records also by using this process builder. So we can able to invoke that method. For example, if I'm creating one more hiring manager record, like with the name some Pradeep Kumar. Pradeep Kumar. Contact number I'm giving somewhere. Location some Delhi. Email ID some Pradeep @ some gmail.com. As soon as once you click on this save button, my Pradeep Kumar record has been getting created. A related position record also has been getting created. When if the location is Delhi. For example, I'm doing the negative testing now. I'm creating a new record over here. I'm creating a new record with the name Samsudhir. Samsudhir Kumar. Contact number I'm giving some value. Location I'm indicating Hyderabad. Email ID Samsudhir @ some gmail.com. Once you click on this save button, now the hiring manager record will be getting created. Related position will not create because position will be getting created whenever the location is equals to Delhi. Here it is not creating any position record over here because we have added the condition. If the location is Delhi, then only please create the related position record, or else don't create that. So that depends upon your requirement, whatever the business logic that you want, not only invoking the business logic by using the asynchronous flickers from the triggers or from the batch programming, from the schedule programming, or from the execute anonymous window, we can invoke this procedures also from the process builder by using with the help of this @invokable method feature. So that we have to define this method with the help of an annotation @invokable method, and then this method we can able to invoke from the process builder also. That facility is available. This is the way we are going to be invoking the methods from the process builder. Now, let me place this code. Now, the next one. Let me show you this previous examples scenario. So this is the method over here. This is the method which we have. Okay, this is the method which we have. This method I would like to invoke from a process builder. Previously, what we did, so we are invoking this method from the trigger. Okay, we are invoking this method from the trigger, like as share account records trigger. Let me deactivate this trigger right now. Let me go to the triggers, deactivate this trigger. Share account records trigger. Let's open this. I'm deactivating this trigger. From now onwards, upon creating the account record, the trigger will not get fired. Okay, trigger will not get fired. Now what I want to do, I would like to deactivate this. Okay, sorry, I would like to share this record, okay, whenever a new account record has been getting created. So there is a method is available which we have prepared. Let me go to that method. Let me open that class. Accounts share handler. This is the class which we have prepared. So now I would like to invoke this class method from the process builder. I don't want to invoke from trigger. I want to invoke from the process builder. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Here also we need to do some little bit changes. Nothing else. Now let's see. How can we invoke this method from the process builder instead of using triggers? Now let's see. Now, so here also we need to make this a method. Here also we have to make this a method to be get invocable from the process builder, so that here we are going to be using this @invocable method annotation. How to do that? Now let's see. Now let's see how can we implement this functionality. So for this reason, for this one here also we have to make this a method as with the help of @invocable method. @invocable method. I'm indicating the label. Share account record. I'm giving the description. This method will share the account record to specify the user. To the specified user. So I'm giving the description. I'm preparing that method already. We have prepared that method. The same method I'm invoking over here from the process builder. That is the multiple ways to invoke this. Now this method already we have invoked from the trigger yesterday in the previous session, but now I'm going to be invoking from the process builder. So now I'm going to be defining this method with the help of an annotation @invocable method by giving that label as share account record, and then I'm indicating this a description. So based on that, the value based on that user which are selected, it is going to be sharing the record to the respective user over here. Now, then let's see how can we invoke this method. So let me create a process on the account object. Go to the create, workflows and approvals, process builder. On this account object, we are having so many processes are available. 2 processes are available. It is creating a related contact also. It is synchronizing the account changes to that contact also. Whatever, I'm not bothered about this. I'm going to sharing this. Now click on new and indicate it. Share account record to user. Share account record to user. I want to invoke this process whenever a record has been changed. Whenever a record has been changed. Now click on save. Now my process has been prepared. Now we can initiate that when you would like to find this process. Select the object name. I'm going to be indicating the object name as account. So now please find this particular process whenever a new record has been created. Once the record has been getting created successfully, then at that time, if the account records, okay, if the account record is having that value, like as share record to, the field is available the value, then only we can able to share this record. Click on save. So now we have selected that account object. Select the criteria when you would like to share this record. Now whenever the record is in active status, now I'm indicating here. Check for sharing. I would like to check the conditions over here. What are the conditions I would like to check? First of all, I want to make sure whether the record active status is yes or no. If the record is active or not. If the active status value is equals to yes. And one more, what is that? If the account record contains this value, that means in this account record, if we are having this value for this particular field, share record to, then only I would like to share, or else I don't want to do that. So now select this one, non-indicating. Share record to, okay, share record to user. Okay. If this field value is not equals to empty, that means if the field value not equals to, does not equals to a global constant, that is null. Okay, if it is not null, that means what? Share records to, that means if this particular field value is not equals to null, then only I would like to find. That means account record should be active, and then this particular share record to user, this field value, share record to user, this field value should not be empty. That means not null, does not equals to the null. Then only I would like to find. What you want to do? I want to invoke this Apex class over here. Now select this action type as Apex. Now I'm indicating that here. Invoke the Apex class. So what is that class name? What is that method name which you would like to invoke? I would like to invoke the method that is called as share account record. I'm indicating that. Share, it is indicating share account record. Actual method name is after insert, but the label is share account record, so that we can select this share account record. But this method is having one parameter. Here it is having one parameter which it is expecting one account record over here. Whatever the account record that we created, this account record I would like to pass. Now click on add row, select that parameter here, LST account. This is the parameter is available. I want to pass the field reference, nothing but here I would like to pass that value. What is that value? The account record which you have created. Whatever the account record that you have created, that account record I would like to pass. So whenever I'm passing this account record will be coming into my collection. Based on that account record details, it is going to sharing this account record to the respective users automatically by default. Now, click on save. That's it, done. So now we can able to initiate this process also. We can able to make it active. Click on activate, click on confirm. Now my process has been activated right now over here. From now onwards, whenever we are going to be creating the record inside my account object, automatically the record will be sharing to the respective people to whomever we have selected over here. Now let's see. I'm going to be creating a new record. I'm creating a new record with the name some Manish Kumar. So account site I'm indicating like some pharma. type some installation partner, industry is some hospitality, account number some value, PAN number I'm indicating some value, rating hard, phone number I'm giving some value, fax number I'm giving some value, website value, ownership is some public, annual revenue I'm indicating that, account to source somewhere, customer priority is some high, active status yes. Okay, so the two conditions it will be verifying over here as part of my process. First condition is active status should be yes, and the second condition is now share record to user, this field should not be empty. That means if you select any of the user, then only we can share. If you did not select anything, then nothing to share, we no need to share. For that one I'm verifying the condition. So now select this user to whom you want to share. I want to share this record to the testing user right now, so that I'm selecting testing user. So as soon as once you click on that save button, immediately my record has to be get created, then it has to share the record to the testing user also. Now click on save. So now my record has been created successfully over here. This record has been shared to that person. This record has been shared to the person testing user. Let's go to that sharing mechanism. Now here it is indicating testing user also will be able to see this record with read only. Why? Because it's here in that particular business logic we have added the condition, if the annual revenue value of this record is less than 50 lakhs, then he will be getting read only permission. If the user is having the annual revenue more than 50 lakhs, he will be getting read write. Now let me test this functionality over here. Let me go to the users. Let me verify whether this user is able to really see my record or not. Let's go to the users. Go to the testing user. Let's verify whether the Manish Kumar record is visible to this user or not. Get the records. Now it is indicating Manish Kumar record is really visible, right? Correct. So now open the record. Let's try to do the modifications over here. He is having only read-only permission because annual revenue value is 34 lakhs. Once you click on the edit button, it is indicating insufficient privileges. That means you don't have the rights. He can't modify that values here. He can't modify, he can't delete this record. Because here he is having only read-only permission. Like this here, we can able to initiate that methods also from the process builder. Previously, what we did, these methods were invoking from the trigger, but now Salesforce has given that additional mechanism that we no need to create additional trigger by writing some additional coding, so we can invoke these methods by using process builder also. That's what here in future Salesforce wants to remove the triggers concept from Salesforce, from the development part. The Salesforce main intention is they would like to remove the triggers. So they would like to remove the triggers. The triggers will be replacing with process builder. As of now, process builder is having some events. That's what they're more focusing on process builder here. They keep on adding some actions. But as of now, process builder is having only after insert, after update. So slowly they will be adding some more events also, like as before insert, before update, before delete, okay, after and delete, after delete. If they're adding all these events, then they will decommission the trigger concept from development part, so that we can reduce the development code also from their updates. We no need to write any triggers, then we no need to write any additional coding part. So slowly they are going to be reducing the coding part by introducing this kind of which are out of the box features which can be configurable. So this is the main aim for the Salesforce in order to remove that triggers from that Salesforce development part in future. So maybe after 5 years we may not be having the triggers concept in development. Everything we can able to implement through the process builder. Write your own class, prepare the method, write the business logic, invoke from process builder. That's it. Simply done. We can pass the parameters whatever you want also. That facility is available. That's what here they are going to be avoiding this trigger concept from the development part in future. This is the way we can able to invoke your methods from the process builder also inside your Salesforce instance. This is the concept of invokable methods. Okay. So in the tomorrow's session, we'll see the concept of test classes. We'll see what exactly the test class, what is the use of test class, how to prepare the test classes inside your Salesforce instance. We'll see practically in tomorrow's session.